Welcome to SummerSlam 2021. Oh, this thing's dim again. Sorry about that. It gets dim when you have to reset it. Okay, here we go, guys. What do we got in SummerSlam 2021? Now, you guys are going to think, oh, I'm going to be like everyone else. I'm going to shill for the WWE. It's not going to happen. Did I enjoy all of the show? No. No. Some of it was so stupid. Stupid. Some of the matches were good. The endings, like the last three some odd matches, were very good. To a certain extent. But let's be honest here. For me personally, I wasn't too interested in SummerSlam anyway because there wasn't that much going for it. After seeing CM Punk, I cared more about that than I cared about SummerSlam. I'm just being honest here. But am I going to say that the entire show was crap? No, it wasn't crap. Most of it was okay, and a lot of it I didn't agree with. But the ending was good. The second match for that is good. But you'll hear, there's a lot that's going to be said in this video, and I might actually avoid doing images because it's going to take me a long time to edit this and upload this. It may be up to 2 in the morning before I upload this video, so I may have to make a decision on the fly now if I'm going to put any images or not. You know what? I'm only going to put a few images like I did for Emergence. If you guys are interested in images, I'm sorry you're not going to get that many. You're only going to get maybe a few. Okay, I did not see the opening for the kickoff. Didn't watch it. Didn't care. What do we get in the beginning of the show? RK Bro versus Almost and AJ Styles. Honestly, the match wasn't that great. Was the opening for... Let me give it to you like this. We knew eventually it had to happen that RK Bro had to win the titles. Almost and AJ have run their course. And they actually stretched it out, I think, a lot longer than it needed to be. So the match really didn't matter. It was about RK Bro winning, which they did. And seeing that the Randy Keith Orton was being nice. That felt a little weird. With his mustache, beard, and goatee, he feels like he's supposed to be evil and he's being nice. It feels weird for me personally. But it's what needed to happen. They needed to switch the titles from Almost and Styles over to RK Bro. It needed to happen. Now the question's going to be, what is his celebration next week that's going to happen, and how long will they keep their titles? Because I still believe that Vince wants to break these two up and start feuding one another and have Riddle look... Matt Riddle have his heart broken because Randy turns against him. That's how I feel. Now, what did we get here? The worst match of the show. The worst. You know where I'm going. Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss. Guys, I actually sat in front of my TV and wrote some notes on this. And I'm like, why am I tormenting myself? Why? I said it before and I said it again. I'll say it again, not say it again. Say it again. I knew Eva Marie needed to be a manager and maybe wrestle, counting if she was able to wrestle at all. She needed to be eye candy. The woman has curves that every man wants and every woman wants who's in that kind of mindset. Dewdrop, she's sweet, she's cute, and she's useless. And then there's Alexa Bliss with Lily, which I did not give two shits because that was based off of Bray Wyatt, who we still don't know if he's going back or not. I still don't know if he's going back to WWE or not. He might not, I don't know. I just know I don't give two shits about Alexa Bliss. Now, mind you, is she trying? Yes. Trying better than Eva Marie is. So what did we get? Guys, Eva Marie is beautiful. I don't think she's an idiot. But the way she worked that match, yes, she was trying to look like she didn't know how to wrestle. But to be honest, when you see Alexa Bliss heavily out-wrestle in Eva Marie, And understand, Alexa Bliss is not one of the greatest wrestlers. She's okay. Let's be honest here. She's an okay wrestler that has her moments. But when she looks that damn good, there is something wrong here. And in the end, Alexa wins. And then Dewdrop rubs it into a Eva Marie. I'm just like, why? Why did I sit and watch it? This is one of the worst parts of the show. The worst. I'm moving on. Now, Sheamus versus Damian. You know, seeing Damian Priest go up against Sheamus. I love me Sheamus. I like Damian Priest. But from what I can tell, they've not built Damian Priest very well. And showing Sheamus shattering his nose because of Alberto Carrillo. It doesn't really feel like it was an important match to me personally. And I know Sheamus had been working hard trying, but in the end, it just, Now, was the match good? Yeah, but there's no real good story behind it. For me personally, I know that other people say there was a story. Me, there was no story. Yes, I have been watching Raw, but I have kept up at least enough to know how Damian Priest has been booked and how Sheamus has been booked and Alberto Carrillo breaking Sheamus' face and seeing Damian Priest barely be used and not only being used recently. I'm just like, I don't care. The match was fine. Damian wins. He goes in the back, he gets an interview. But in the end, I didn't care. Not because the match was bad, it was because there's no story behind it. I'm just saying. Now, this, if you don't know which brand that the U.S. title was from, I believe it was U.S. title. I'm just saying Raw needs more. They need more. They don't got it. Now, the Smackdown Tag Titles between the Usos and where are they going with the Usos dealing with Rey Mysterio and the Sun? Dominic can't wrestle. Guys, if you think Dominic can wrestle, he can't wrestle very well. He's just passable. And I'm not being mean to Dominic. He's not 100% trash, but he can't wrestle that well. When you see him going against Sheamus, you see I'm getting confused between Sheamus and Usos because Sheamus felt like he was irrelevant. And then you look at the Usos, who should be irrelevant because of what Jimmy Uso did, getting a damn... getting in trouble with the law and getting drunk. He gets the damn title with his brother when they shouldn't. And that pisses me off. And I love the Usos. But knowing Jimmy like this and hearing at the end of the show when they're setting up for Roman Reigns and hearing that the bloodline is complete. Where the fuck is Naomi? She's part of the fucking bloodline along with Tamina. Why couldn't they bring Tamina out? Huh? Tamina's part of the fucking bloodline. Why didn't she come out? Yeah, she's working with Natalya, but it doesn't matter. She's part of the bloodline. Couldn't she come out with her tag title? What about Naomi? She's part of the bloodline now. She's married into it. Where is she? And that pisses me off. So when it came to this match, I was already pissed because I was mad at Jimmy. Seeing Damian not very good in the ring. He's trying to sell that he's still bad, but also he is bad. Not great. And then they're trying to tell a story that he's acting brash and messing up his father. To me personally, it just didn't feel like it meant anything. It didn't feel like it meant anything. How many tag teams are in SmackDown or Raw? I can't even tell anymore. To be honest, I've forgotten. What, there's 3 teams? 2 at the most? Usos retained, I didn't care. Now, the IC title was shown with Shinsuke Nakamura when he was dancing around, and what is the guy's name? John Smith, who is currently on commentary. I gotta say this about John Smith, if that's his name, John, because I don't remember his... No, Jimmy Smith. There you go. Not John, Jimmy Smith. He's not bad. He's actually a good commentator. And then you see him, and I will put him in my face, compared to everyone else I haven't done yet. Seeing him dancing around with that other guy, I can't remember his name, working with Shinsuke Nakamura, playing the guitar, he at least is trying to be animated. And he looks stupid, but guess what? In WWE, that's what you want, right? Vince? You're not a wrestling company, you're an entertainment company. That's pretty much what you got. So I will say that at least he was somewhat entertaining, even though he looks stupid. And that's what Vince wants, and that's what most of the people sort of wanted. And I got to say this about the fans, being 51, was it number? 51,326. Now, I'm going to be honest here. Throughout some of that matches, you couldn't hear them much. Not because the sound was low, it's because they weren't very interested. They weren't interested in the first couple of matches. Yeah, Damian Priest had a little bit, but honestly, they didn't really care that much. Not at first. Now, we had the Smackdown Women's title, supposed to be against Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, but Sasha was not there. So Carmella comes out, getting another shot, and I think that was her second chance, and she's been beaten multiple times already, but this is her second chance at the title, and people were booing her ass like crazy, but her titties look nice. Here's a shot of her boobs. I take nothing away from Carmella. I know she's actually a very nice person, and she has improved. You may not like Carmella, but I have seen her improve her ring style. She has worked on it. Compared to some women, she actually had tried to improve herself, and she did. She may not be like here, but she was here, and she's come up to here. That is something. I commend her for working in the ring to make it better. So I was going like, really? They're going there? And then, guess who's in my face? You see her. Becky Lynch comes out. Becky Lynch is cheered beyond recognition and stink. And I'm going, damn, okay, they finally showed her. They finally pulled the trigger. I'm fine with this. She comes to the ring. She doesn't grab a mic immediately. She literally hits Carmella and throws her ass outside the ring. Then she grabs a mic eventually. And then she says, how about me and you go and do this right now? Me and you tear the house down. Tear the house down. And I'm going, okay, now this is interesting. We haven't seen her wrestle in almost 1.5 years. She hasn't been there. Hopefully she's gotten in good shape. Hopefully we get a good match out of this because there's no Sasha. Because a lot of people wanted to see Sasha. I did. No. She's in my face. She tricked Bianca Belair by wanting to shake her hand. She forearms her, actually here, where I'm talking about the forearm, forearms her in the face or punches her in the face, then rolls her up and wins the damn title. She's again in my face. What the fuck? I don't care if anyone else is fine with this. Me personally, you don't bring out Sasha either because she's sick or they changed everything because they wanted Becky to come out and do this. Fine. If Sasha's fine, if she's not hurt or she's not sick with COVID and they decided they wanted Becky to win the title, take her place, but they had to do a bait and switch with Carmella, I'm fine with it. But you don't have a match at all. You trick Bianca Belair, makes her look like a freaking bitch. Like she's a stupid ass bitch. She just got punked out by Becky Lynch and rolled up like she was nothing. They just felt like, to me, it felt like they buried Bianca Belair. I know other people say, oh, don't worry, she's fine. Really? You know how they are in that damn company. She felt like she just got buried and bitched out. She got freaking bitched out by my point of view. And then it doesn't make me feel good about Becky. Couldn't they let her at least wrestle a little bit? 5 minutes? 8 minutes to wrestle. Why would she have to punch out Bianca and act like a damn heel when she wasn't one when she left? Unless she's going to work with Seth Rollins, which would make no sense after what happened at the end of the show. It makes no fucking sense. I don't know about anybody else. This was fucking stupid. For me, it was stupid. Anyone else, I'm sure maybe the Slug Daddy will be fine with it. He'll be happy. Maybe just Alex or JD will be fine with it. They'll be happy. Me, no. It's fucking stupid. But let's move on. Now, we got the next match that I don't know why there's no story. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. And Jinder's angry at Drew. Why? It's not about him not getting a shot at the world title. He wasn't even involved in the ladder match to try and get the damn Money in the Bank. No story about them being in 3MB. No story about him trying to say, hey, Drew, why don't you stick with me? Why don't we work together? Why don't we be a tag team? And let's try to get something together because we were good as a tag team. No. He couldn't say, Drew, I'm frustrated. I need your backup. You're my friend. No. This bullshit. Now, I know people are not fond, and I want to say this truthfully. When Jinder won the title, I said this, and I'm not going back on what I said. I was glad he won for one reason, not because he was a great wrestler, not because I was fond of him as a wrestler, I was a fan. No, he was a mid-carder to a jobber. And I was hoping from that time on that Vince would let jobbers get a shot at somehow getting better in the ring. In other words, getting something in the main title scene because we had the same people over and over again. I was hoping this would be the beginning of more jobbers or low-card members or maybe a few mid-carders. You see I'm getting angry. Mid-carders would be brought up to the main event or near the main event and see if they can hang. That didn't happen. So I'm not taking back what I said. But when you see this, it wasn't about the match quality at all. Look, Jinder is an okay wrestler. He is. Is he a good character? Sometimes he has his moments. But most of the time, he's lackluster. But I'm not taking anything away from him. He does have his moments in the ring and with his character. But with no story behind this, who are actually good friends in real life. And they don't give us a story about them being part of 3MB because it was like it never happened. They don't give a reason why they're even fighting generally. And this is just because they don't want Drew in the main title because they have no people that was there next to him and Lashley. It felt like crap. And this match was not that long and Drew dominated. And he pulls out his mother's, what was the name? Angela. I believe that's his mother's name. And he named his sword Angela. But what is the point of Angela? Scaring people. Guys, he doesn't feel Scottish. I want him to send us a Scotsman, and he's not. I'm moving on. It's making my ears itch. It's pissed me off so much. Let's move on. We now have the Raw Women's title match, which is a triple threat. Nick Ash, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley. Do you know who I felt was going to win from the very beginning? I knew if Nikki managed to retain, she would drop it the next night on Raw. So I knew there was no way Rhea Ripley was going to win it. I still believed that Nikki wasn't going to win it, and if she did, she would drop it the next night. So, Charlotte Flair. Understand why I'm being so really mean to Charlotte. And I know I can talk about the match, and you know what? I'll say this about the match. Rhea made the match work. You got Nikki working her ass off, trying to make the match work. And then you got Charlotte, who wanted to make herself look good at the expense of both of them. Because she did not put them over. She did not make them look better. Hell, when she did that, she does a moonsault. This time she decided to do a twisting moonsault off the top turn rope and buckle. Guess what happened? She didn't angle herself correctly. She pinned Nikki between her and the retaining wall. And Nikki hopefully did not get a concussion because she whacked her face with Charlotte's leg and the damn retaining wall, even with padding. I'm telling you, she's overrated. Mind you, she is a okay to good wrestler. As long as someone is good enough to make her look good. and make themselves look good. She's not a dad. She'll never be a dad. She'll never be able to put herself over and the person she's working with. It'll always be about Charlotte. And honestly, I wasn't surprised. Now she is what is she now? A 12-time champion. She should be 14. Remember, she's not being recognized for the NXT titles anymore. So she's a 12-time when she should be 14. I'm just saying I don't care. Now, the next match, which was actually one of the good ones. Seth Rollins versus Edge. Now, I don't remember if the music that they played was from the Brew when he first came in. But I will say it was a nice change to hear that first before you think you know me. It was nice to see, and seeing him come up, I believe I got a picture of that, and I think I got it, coming out from the floor like Ray or Aleister Black, smoke coming from his coat, or under his coat, or below his legs. And then they played his regular music, which I did enjoy. The match itself was very good. I did enjoy it. Now, what did I write for my notes? It was good, and the thing that was very interesting, seeing Seth constantly target the neck, and seeing how, I'll say this about Edge, even though he has this moment where he just seems to be something missing sometimes, he wasn't missing anything here. He did one hell of a great job. I enjoyed the match. I did. And also had a great story. You got two guys basically mirroring one another. One who came out in the 90s and one who came out in the 2010s. Both of them have similar rises. Both of them seem to mirror one another. A good story. This is a story I agree with. I was fine with it. I'm glad it happened. So by the time it ended, if Seth won, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But Edge won. Now the question is going to be where they're going to go from here. Edge beat Seth. Doesn't mean it's over. I don't think so. I think Seth still isn't going to be done with it yet. And neither is Edge. I think they're going to have to do a stipulation match to finally end their rivalry. But that's just me. You tell me below how you feel. Now, the next thing that was stupid. Miz, Morrison, and what was that? Now, supposedly, Miz and Morrison had a water truck in the kickoff show. Don't got a shot of it. Then you have Miz and Morrison basically saying they're going to be doing something great. They're going to be taking care of people here because they're all hot. And this is after 10-something. By 10-something, 10:15, 10:20. And he's saying we're going to cool everybody off using, what is it called again? The Dripstick 2000, and both of them are complaining, saying, so where's the dripstick? I don't know where it is. You have it? No, you have it. And guess who comes out looking like Reza Ramon with the little stick in his mouth, little toothpick. Hey, yo, I'm Reza Ramon. Xavier Woods, having his hair like Reza Ramon, wearing a vest like Reza Ramon, and having a water tank, or actually not water tank, but like a water container like you would have in an office with a big ass sprayer. And I believe I'll show that as well. It's in my face. He made it very clear, I'm going to squirt you because they get all wet, they complain, they run off. They thought it would be funny to do this. Really? Let's move on to the two Olympians now. What were their names? The two Olympians who fought, Stevens and Stock. I didn't get the rest of her name, but I got a picture of both of them. They're in my face. Now, I admit I didn't watch the Olympics. I was too busy doing these videos and making animation. I hadn't paid attention to the Olympics, which I should have. But I didn't. Now, they were already talking about these two joining the WWE. They're thinking about it. UFC is already talking to Stevens. I believe that's his name. And other people are talking about him, like the NFL are talking about him. But they're thinking about going to the WWE. This is part of what Vince wants. He wants people like them that have publicity, not wrestling ability. Do I care? No. And neither did everyone else. They were not even cheering for them. And the lady was trying her best to get people to cheer, and they were barely even breaking a sweat. They didn't even care. Not because they hated them, was because it was nearly like 10:45, almost 11 o'clock. I don't remember when it happened. Just, I don't know. Now, we got 2 matches left. First one, the match that at first I don't understand why they went so long. But then I saw that they tried to make a story out of it, which kind of is interesting. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to go there eventually. That is Goldberg versus Lashley. And I don't even need to explain anything. Goldberg got his ass whooped. And they tried to sell a knee injury, that he got hurt beforehand. And then Lashley tried to accentuate that injury on his knee. That was the entire story. And eventually, a stoppage by the I gotta put this in my face, of the stoppage by the ref, saying, we're done. He can't walk anymore. It's done. And Lashley, after that, starts nailing with chair shots, nailing his knee with chair shots, and still nailing his knee with chair shots. You see why I'm botching, because guess who goes into the ring? And that is Goldberg's son. I don't know how old he is, 14, 15, maybe 16 years old now. And he gets basically the full Nelson by, well, the lock, the Bobby lock, the Lashley lock. It don't make a difference. He gets wiped out. And after that, you hear Goldberg say, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. This is the story. Goldberg wanted to prove that he could still go. And he did. Then his son gets hurt because Lashley wanted to whack a Goldberg on the knee constantly to basically piss off his son, that he came out, tried to choke him, he grabbed him and did this to him. And now we have a story that's going to be stretched for a couple of weeks, where it's very scary that you're going to have Lashley job to Goldberg. You can't tell me it's not going to happen, because it's going to. It feels like it. And if it does, that's a damn shame they do this to Bobby Lashley. He gets to win over Goldberg, but then he's going to lose the title anyway, because that's the way it looks like it's being booked. Now let's move on to the final match of the night. The match that I liked. I liked the ending. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. By this time, it was what, 11:30, 11:40? I couldn't even remember. I had a feeling this was going to last beyond 12 o'clock, and I was right. This thing lasted almost, 25, maybe 35 minutes, easily. And the fans were hot for it, at least the ones that were willing to cheer, because it was almost 12, and then it went past 12. And you got Cena getting his ass handed to him at first. He could not keep up with Roman Reigns. They tried to sell that he has been away from the ring for a while, that they didn't say he had ring rust, they just said that he was the greatest champion, he is the best champion ever, and he's gotten his butt kicked over and over again by Roman Reigns. And by the time the match was nearing its end, you see Cena rallying, doing an AA off the second turnbuckle like he normally does, doing an attitude adjustment. Before that, at least 2. Doing it one on the mat and then another onto the table. Yeah, that happened. It wasn't bad. It did get the crowd hype, and I didn't mind it. I was okay with it. But by the time it was over, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if he was going to win it or not. And I'm sure many people were worried that he was going to win it. But he did not. He beat a John Cena, that is Roman Reigns. And then when he wanted to bask in that glory, holding the title over his head, you get the music of Brock Lesnar, and he's in my face. He is there in full color. There he is. Finally back. Beard and mustache, looking cock diesel to a certain extent, wearing a black shirt, jeans, and shoes. Comes to the ring. You see a Paul Heyman scared out of his freaking mind, going, no, no, scared out of his mind. He finally faces Roman Reigns in the ring. Roman backs off and leaves, and he's waiting for him. Good ending. with John Cena, and a very good ending with Brock Lesnar. They finally brought him out. But here's the thing for me personally. Brock Lesnar going after Roman Reigns. Not Bobby Lashley, who he should go after. Now, mind you, seeing him go after a Roman Reigns is a good thing, but then it's not a good thing because you don't want this now. Because where are we now? We're in August. Are they going to do this with one of those little pay-per-views? Or are they going to do this with a signature pay-per-view like Survivor Series? Wouldn't have been better for that. Because the only thing we have are little funky little pay-per-views like Crown Jewel's been advertised in October. Does that mean we're booking this in October? I don't know. Maybe they're going to. Maybe they're going to set up Brock Lesnar to win or lose at Crown Jewel, which feels like a waste of time. It should be at Survivor Series. He should have been brought back at Survivor Series, but they're not doing that. He should have been brought back for Bobby Lashley if it wasn't for Roman Reigns. They're not going to do that either, I believe. They're just going to probably do it at Crown Jewel. So what did I think about this pay-per-view? The ending was good. The last few matches were good. The rest of the show sucked for me. Other people are going to like it, and more power to them. But for me personally, I didn't feel any hype from this pay-per-view at all. I didn't care. Not because I don't care about the WWE. Yeah, I've been watching it a lot, but it doesn't mean I want to see good wrestlers not get what they deserve. A pay-per-view where they get some type of recognition. Becky Lynch, I'm glad to see her, but they let her job out. 100% Bianca Belair. I don't care what anybody says. For me personally, seeing Bianca bitched out like that, getting hit in the face, getting rolled up like a bitch, is very upsetting. Seeing the Usos with the damn titles when they shouldn't be because Jimmy did a, what was it, a driving under the influence? DUI? I don't want him to have any titles until he straightened his ass out. But he's got them. It's stupid. Seeing Damian Priest and feeling like he hasn't really been utilized much. And now he has a title that he's really not going to do anything with. I don't really think it's going to be much more than him dealing with Sheamus. I don't see anything more than that. Shinsuke Nakamura didn't even defend his title here. Unless he did it on the kickoff show. So, it's just me. I just didn't care about most of that show. And the ending was good to almost great. But it doesn't make the show better. But I hope you enjoyed this about to say Slammiversary. A lot of this show pissed me off, guys. I ain't gonna lie. SummerSlam 2021. Please leave a comment below. I will be doing TakeOver 36. Counting if I don't oversleep. Because I'm gonna be so tired after this. And then I still do my animation during the day. It's what I want. I'm trying to be more productive. Peace.